Hi internet. So today, being Wednesday, would normally be a top 5 Wednesday, but I haven't read 5 books that have taken place in my country, or if I have read 5, I've forgotten how many of them there were. The only ones I've read are Those Who Came After by Elizabeth Holdsworth and Dangerously Placed by Nancy Coons. The only books I've read in Australia. But I want to talk about writing because I need to talk about writing, and I've been trying to, but I keep going off topic. Can't tell wearing NaNoWriMo. I should have worn my I Slayed 50,000 Words NaNoWriMo shirt. It's more of a dress because I bought it really large and it's so comfy. Like, I wouldn't wear it, I'd wear it, yeah, I would wear it outside, but I wouldn't wear it with these shorts. I'd wear it with like a high-waisted skirt that was tucked in and can't see it. I didn't participate in 2012 either, but I brought all their shirts so that I can have multiple shirts to write in. Writing, what I was saying. So, I have made the decision in my life to take writing seriously in the last few months, and God, is that daunting. It kind of came to me because I was like, what do I want to do with my life? I'm 21, I am still in my gap year after high school, or years. The only thing that I have what are the things that I've constantly done, or what things do I think I will want to do? Because I was sitting there going, well, vet nursing, I enjoyed vet nursing, but I didn't enjoy the people, and there were certain things about it that I didn't like. I've worked in retail that annoys me. I currently am a phone consultant, which annoys me, but I still get enjoyment out of it. Like, obviously they're not too bad. Obviously, I worked in fast food, which annoyed me. I've been a part of like soccer clubs and different things throughout my life and volunteer stuff that I find little things that I like about it, but not everything. Like, I have a booktube that I love now this past year. By the way, I had my first birthday on like the 21st of January, completely forgot about it like the week before and until like a week after. So yay, happy 1-year birthday since I posted my first video on this channel, bitches! Anyway. I have my vlog channel, which I don't post enough on because it's not about books or writing, so I don't want to talk about it. And then it occurred to me, I've been reading pretty regularly since I was 13, even though the content that I was reading is questionable at that age. I have been writing in some form or another since I was about 14 and started on The Sims to Exchange and then went to fanfiction and all that stuff. And then I really got thinking, and this is mainly brought on by Patrica C. Words blog, which I've been reading and is fantastic. I suggest if you love just the idea of writing as a career and any questions around that, she writes some awesome stuff about it. But I worked out, like, I played Barbies till I was like 11 or 12, which is way too long to be playing with Barbies apparently, because nearly all my friends stopped apart from one. Hi Casey, if you ever see this, you won't, but we played Barbies. Then I went from Barbies and I went to Sims, really. And I was already playing video games at that point. I also had the online games like Habbo Hotel and stuff where I created my own person constantly. Even at work, if I get creatively stuck in a rut or creatively bored, I will just make up stories about my life because I'm bored and I don't want my customers to know too much about me. I don't do it on YouTube, but I've done it in other parts of my life. It's not so much lying, it's just making up stories. I don't do it often. I'm like not untrustworthy because of it, but done it. And like I went from there to Sims to Exchange and writing stuff there and creating The Sims and doing The Sims things to fanfiction and reading and writing fanfiction, and then Fiction Press to writing like just like fanfiction, and Sims went into all my other stories. Like, I can think of like nearly every idea that I've had in the last 8 years that I've been constantly writing for. Granted, I leave writing and I come back to it and I have 50 different hobbies, but writing is the only thing that I am constantly doing, like at least once a month, even if it's as much as picking up a notebook, jotting down something that I thought of. I am constantly living in the world with my characters. I have a couple of ideas at the moment that are just ideas that I've fleshed out in my mind because I had a dream or I thought of something and I was like, oh my god. Like my NaNoWriMo project for this year, I heard one news story and it went on. Like, that news story just excited me. It was about the idea of finding the fountain of youth in blood. And then from there I'm like, if we did that, that would like become a thing. What if it was only in children? I was like, what if it's only in children? And like, rich people always want to look young, and it's the social norm that people want to look younger, and if they have regular access to something that makes them younger, then they'll just adopt orphans, and then they keep those orphans so they could bleed those orphans and then use their blood to make them look younger. And that's really what my NaNoWriMo story started at and continued on from there, because while there would have been like children, what if there were children that had more of it in their blood than other ones, and yeah. And there is like one story that I have been writing since I was 14 that has changed so much, and actually something on Patricia's vlog jogged my memory because I've been rut down with it. I've changed things before in the past, but something about it, and I get to a certain point and I stopped writing and I couldn't work out why. And I got so into my NaNoWriMo one again recently, last month. Then I just looked at the other one and I was like, I'm gonna reread everything I have ever written on this story, and I have decided to scrap everything. Not scrap everything, like my characters, all my characters' first names are the same. The idea of the plot and where the story's going is the same, some of the backstories are the same, but I've had to go through and be like, we have to think about this seriously. They're people, they just live in my head, and I have to go through with this and do everything. Like, I didn't also realize how meticulous I am with note-taking and world creating. I already knew I have issues with books and stories where things change, which is why I have written that story so many times. If she's 15 on this page, she's going to be 15 on the next page. If it's 2 years later, she's going to be 17. I don't want to read books where she was 16 here and 3 years later she's 17. That makes no sense. Wattpad is the vein of my existence some days because I love it, but the inconsistencies because it's all first drafts. I hate first drafts. Like, I just want everything to be consistent. She was wearing green shoes before, she's wearing green shoes still. And I actually watched the Epic Reads video where they interviewed an editor, and I was like, oh my god, I could be an editor because then I could fix all other things. Breaking Dawn, one of my main issues, blonde, about 2 different ways. The entire book. Other things as well. I've spoken on this in my Twilight tag thing. So I've gone through, recreate, it now has its own Scrivener with all the previous material imported into it in case I need it, and I've been keeping all the material. The amount of notebooks I've been moving around from day to day the last few days is ridiculous. I've even been rewriting its notebook into a new notebook that's now black instead of purple because I feel like it's black as its soul. It's not black like its soul, but you know, I've taken things too seriously, I've been researching and stuff, and it's amazing because it's what I love about writing and storytelling is the research and the character development and the world development and the actual story and stuff. Another thing that jogged it into my mind was something around NaNoWriMo. I was watching something where people who weren't writers had been writing, and they're like, writing is the worst thing. You think it sounds fun and then it's the worst thing, and I'm like, writing is the best thing. Yes, I get anxious sometimes because of what I'm reading or writing. I don't get anxious because I don't know what I'm writing, that's never a thing, or because I don't have words. It can be frustrating in your own mind where you're like, I know what I want but don't know how to happen, or writer's block and stuff like that where you should just get up and walk away for now because you'll come back to it later. I have never, I did 50,000 words in 1 month, come on people. But I obviously like writing. I am such an introvert that I can get extroverted at times. The idea of sitting in a room alone and writing solitary for 4 hours isn't daunting. It's kind of exciting. I just have to have control and not go near YouTube or get lost making a playlist music because I've done that a few times. Don't even need to be in a quiet room or quiet house for it. I can just do it. The only thing that I'm afraid of is when I start to write things the way they shouldn't be written, and then I dump things into another story. I've had to stop for a couple of days writing on that one story because I really want to finish that story because I had another thought come into mind, so I just was drafting that story for a couple of days, and now I put it away because I know what I want to do with that one. I don't feel the need to write it right now because I can't write it right now. I've never thought of writing and be like, ugh, I have to write. If anything, I'm like, I have to write before I do the things for YouTube. YouTube gets in the way of writing a lot, but I really don't care because I love both of them. But yeah, so that's just me saying I'm thinking about taking writing seriously, and why? Because I need to get all those thoughts out. I hope you guys are having a lovely week, and I'll see you next time. And do you have any ambitious writing ambitions or things? And if anyone has a Wattpad or something, I will totally read it because I love Wattpad. I just need to get back into it. I need to catch up on all of Explode's stuff because she's awesome. Yeah. Hey.